What's up, everybody? My name's Cam. This is Cam's Spooky Corner, and here's your Dead by Daylight rant for the day. A little bit about me just to start, and if you want to and you want to get straight to the juicy stuff, go ahead and skip past this part, but I highly encourage you to watch this. Basically, a little about me. I've been playing Dead by Daylight since October of last year in 2024. We are now in November of 2025. I have about 2,000 hours in the game, pretty much split down by the middle as well, both killer and survivor. I love and main both roles. And for killer specifically, I'm really proud of it because I play each and every killer in the game. I'm not a one-trick pony. I do have certain killers that I favor a little bit more because of their fun interactions and playstyle, but I really do want to show love to every killer in the game. For survivor, I have a lot of experience with survivor as well. I make dedicated looping tutorials, so I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm talking about, and I love playing survivor and just being a great teammate and a great and fantastic looper. With that, I'll make sure to plug all my social links here. Feel free to join me on Twitch and interact with myself and my community and let me know your thoughts about this video. I'll make sure to plug up the TikTok as well if you want to see some short form brain rot format, and also I have a lot of educational content on there, starting with survivor, and then we're going to do some killer educational content as well. If you like this video, drop a like and drop a comment. Let me know what you think about it, and definitely come and join the Discord community as well, which I will have plugged up. We are full of killer and survivor mains. We're a non-toxic, all-inclusive community that is looking to grow and create a positive Dead by Daylight atmosphere. With that, let's get into the good stuff, guys, and go right into the video. As you can see from the title of this video, this rant is pretty much all about, is your time being respected in Dead by Daylight? And with that, that is something that the devs have really started to push on recently, and the verbiage they like to use is respecting players' time. Well, I'm going to be straight up with you. I don't think they give a damn about our time. Now, I know what you're saying. Is this just another doomed, you know. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is this just another clickbaity Doom video about Dead by Daylight? No, it's not. I have been known to praise behavior in the past when they have done some good things for the community. I love this game. I love the community. I don't care for the toxicity of it, of course, but I mean, that's each and every one. You know, I'm sure they all feel the same about that. I feel like my responses are not overly critical, but critical enough. I'm definitely eligible for a creator code already, and I understand that making honest, good content like this can cost me from getting that code in the future. But that's okay, because I want to be honest with you guys. I want to be honest with the community. I want to speak from a place in my heart that shows passion and just, you know, how important it is to me to get my point across with all of this. I got all my notes right here on my left monitor, so if you see me awkwardly staring in that direction, that's why, guys. But with that, we'll go ahead and get into the video here. Like I said, you know, the biggest thing is your time being respected in Dead by Daylight? And I want to ask each and every one of the viewers first. Do you feel that it is? Because I do not. For me personally, and I think this really started to click in my head the past couple of days since the palette density update, and also since the live stream the devs did going over the changes they got in the future and how they listened to us about the PTB testing. It's just all a load of crap, man. I'm gonna be honest, dude. Last night, and you know, I know what you're gonna say about this already. I'll make sure to include some B-roll footage here in the video. Last night I was playing the Ghoul, right? I know most of y'all are gonna turn off the video now because I played the Ghoul as well. Well, I was playing the Ghoul on the meat plant, right? Or the game or whatever. And you know, what do we call that map? It's fucking Pallet City, right? Oh my god. So I'm on this map and I'm playing this game, and I can tell my survivors are not super experienced with the game. You know, their looping mechanics and their skills, and they're going for early unhooks against me, right? So I understand I'm not up against the best of the best when it comes to survivor competition, but I just can't even begin to tell you how brain dead survivor feels right now. And this is coming from somebody that plays a lot of survivor, and I'm very, very good at looping myself. It was just disgusting, man. Like, I'm running through the map and I'm chasing a Steve most of the game, and he's not even looking behind him. He's just pre-drop, run, pre-drop, run, pre-drop, run. And I'm just like, what is this? They talk about fun and interactive gameplay and respecting your time. I'm going to tell you something. As strong as they believe that fun and interactive gameplay is not being a survivor slugged on the ground for 5 minutes at the beginning of the match, or being hard tunneled at 5 gens by a nurse or a blight on a win streak, neither is chasing survivors that are just turning their brain off and pre-dropping pallets, and I have to click my spacebar 1,000 times, and I have to keep a literal pallet counter in my chat just to see how ridiculous this is, man. I feel like I shouldn't have to take enduring and spirit fury and brutal strength just to be able to get through a match and get through chases, man. And the funny thing about this is that this is a map that wasn't even affected by the pallet density update, but I'm still going to talk about it because this is extremely frustrating, man. And I just feel like it's just crazy. I'm just running around this map, chasing this Steve, going for a down, and Steve's just having the time of his life, probably in his Discord call with his buddies. Guys, look how good of a looper I am. I'm running this ghoul for 2 gens, and I'm like, fuck, man. I understand I'm not like the greatest player, you know. You'll see it from my B-roll footage I'll put in the video. There's probably a lot of ways I could have outplayed these pallets, but it's still frustrating in general, man. And I know I'm going to appeal to a lot of people when I say this. The whole pallet density update thing was just insane. I think it definitely disrespects Killer's gameplay time, which is as equal as Survivors. I think that it promotes a very unhealthy playstyle for Survivors where they can play sloppy. They don't have to greed anymore. They can just pre-drop, run, and by the time you're done with all the pallets in the game, because of generator speeds, you're probably only going to have like 1 or 2 generators left. Like, let's be real, guys. And what I think this is doing more as well, which is really sad, is they are greatly widening the gap between us versus them. And we've all heard about it, right? The us versus them mentality. Killers against Survivors. I feel like back in the day, it used to be a little bit better than what it is now. Killer and Survivor players understood and respected each other. And that's a big word to throw around in the gaming community, right? Respect. But I think that is really something that we should aim to do to each other. Survivors, unfortunately, you're not going against AI killers. You need killers to play the game. Killers, same thing. We need Survivors to have a good experience as well. As someone that plays a lot of Killer, I don't love getting teabagged and flashlight clicked and taunted at every window vault and every pallet's done. So when I play Survivor, I make sure to respect the Killer, respect their playtime, and be as nice of an opponent as possible and properly play the game. But I feel like with these pallet density changes and everything else they're trying to change with the anti-tunneling and anti-slugging, all it's going to do is just create more of an entitlement from the side of Survivors. And the funny thing to me is that they talk about how they don't like these gameplay mechanics of hard tunneling and hard slugging. But in the video of the live stream, the dev even said it himself. He said these are strategies. They are strategies. So why are we creating this us versus them mentality that they're not strategies? And instead we're creating these goofy skull merchant, art thumbnails that make you a bad person if you employ these strategies, man. I mean, we can get into all day about anti-slugging and how I would actually change it. I'll save that for a future video, but for now, let's just get into how is your time actually respected again. The lack of quality of life updates is actually insane too. I know this is supposed to be Operation Health chapter, and we were supposed to get all these bugs fixed. I mean, shit, do we have any Deathslinger players in the audience? The other day I'm playing Deathslinger, right? And I land a nasty shot on a Survivor. And the harpoon connects with the Survivor, and the chain breaks. And I get nothing for it. And that was a down right there. The Survivor was already injured. And I don't think you guys understand, with the way that tiles are laid out now, that Survivor, because of that little game-breaking error, was able to chain to another loop and another loop. And that cost me a generator. It's just crazy, man. Another thing I want to talk about too is, I don't know what's been going on with the servers lately. I feel like they've been even more laggy and unreliable as before. The other day, I had a Sable running into a wall because she was in the act of DCing. So I'm sitting there trying to attack the body. I finally understand, after getting confused myself if it's my connection or hers, that she was going to DC. So I left the bot, which was downstairs in the, man, I can't think of the map right now. Hopefully I can plug in some B-roll footage for you right here. But that, when I left the area to not waste time, that bot DC'd and it became a bot, went to go save the Survivor on the hook downstairs. They healed each other, and that cost me the whole game right there. I had so much pressure. I had 2 Survivors injured on the main part of the map trying to work on generators. I was going to kill the Sable out of the game. I had a Survivor on the hook, but I couldn't sit there and watch this Sable DCing into the wall that I can't interact with, so I had to leave. It cost me the whole game, man. It's ridiculous. And of course, in the end game chat, everybody's, complaining and just saying, like how... I was playing Michael, and a lot of people don't like Michael right now because he's pretty strong, and they were just complaining and just saying things like, wow, such an interactive killer and Michael buffs and you still couldn't win. Dude, like, I had that game. That's crazy to me, man. But that's a whole nother thing about Survivor entitlement in the end game chat. That's a whole nother can of worms we'll get to in the future. And I know, actually, before I move on from this, I know there's a lot of killers in the game that are severely lacking quality of life. I know the Houndmaster, she's been bugged since released. Who else is bugged as well? Guys, if you're a killer main, let me know your bugs that you experience daily in the comments, because there's so many to count. And I don't understand why we can't just take an extended break from dropping all this content for money and just fix everything. These are some game-breaking bugs, man. Playing the Howlmaster the other day, and my dog just didn't interact properly with somebody, didn't bite. That cost me a hell state right there. And as you guys know, hell states mean everything in this game. That's a good way to kind of rack through the game and keep yourself on track. It's just bullshit, man. I shouldn't be, affected with a game-breaking bug because you guys can't fix your game. It's bullcrap, man, with the spaghetti goat and everything, dude. I think a big thing about behavior too, which is kind of, almost borderline disrespectful in a way, is the lack of self-awareness. They were talking in the stream before. Remember when I forgot the developer's name, but he was talking about people are getting slugged on the game, Pallet City, and I don't know why. And everybody's yelling in the chat, pallets, pallets, pallets. We can't pick people up because there's too many pallets. And they think it's funny, and they think it's a joke, and they don't even know what they're talking about. It's just crazy to me, man. That's like one of the most pallet dense maps in the game, extremely survivor sided, and you have people yelling at you in your chat of why this is the way it is, man. And it's just a joke. It's just sad, bro. I just think that I don't know if they have to get an official spokesperson who is better, well spoken, and actually plays the game and is not going to make a fool of themselves to come out here and do these streams. But if they have to, they should do that, because that does not feel like that my time is respected when I have a developer telling me he doesn't know why people are getting slugged on this map and why killers aren't picking them up, and everybody's actively telling you why, and you're just like, oh, insert honk noise right there. It's just crazy to me, man. And something else I want to talk about too with that is on the most recent live stream as well, they were talking about the palette updates and how they're going to try to revert some of them from all these god loops right here. It's just crazy to me that it's gone to this point of fulfilling all these palettes that were so unnecessary, minus maps maybe like Haddonfield, stuff like that. That was a little bit dense. And also, if you want to couple all this together, right? They wanted to fix certain maps because they felt they were killer sided and didn't have enough resources. Dude, I'm gonna say like probably 70 to 80% of the maps are already survivor sided. As somebody that plays survivor, I'm foaming at the mouth when I go to Toba's Landing because I know how to work that god window in the main building, and I can run people for 3 gens right there, dude. It's just crazy that killers, this map's slightly killer slided on Haddonfield, so we're gonna buff the shit out of it with pallets, and we're gonna include pallets on all these other maps too. Why can't killers have a win too? You know what I mean? And the devs said themselves, we want an underdog story. We want maps that are killer sided, and we want maps that are survivor sided, and we want to try some that are fair and balanced because we like an underdog story. Well, shit, I can't have an underdog story if maybe 5 to 10% of the maps are killer sided, and that depends on the killer I'm playing too, man. Maybe I'll get lucky and get freaking Scratch Mirror Michael on Larry's, and then I'll have a good time, man. But it's just crazy. Uh-oh, my cat's coming in right here. Let me see if he wants to make an appearance for y'all. Say hello to everybody, Mr. Spooky. Guys, this is Mr. Spooky. This is another reason right here to come and join the live streams, because he is here very often and loves to make an appearance as well. All right, buddy, you want to go ahead and sit on dad's lap? You're good to chill right there. And it's just crazy to me, man. Like, I don't understand why killers can't have wins when most of the killers are unplayable in the game because they're broken. And now it's like, oh, well, there's some maps that are pretty killer side. Let's go ahead and fix that. Well, when you fix the maps that are killer sided and there's no killer sided maps, you're basically creating nothing but survivor maps. And it's insane, dude. It makes no sense. Now it's like killers can't even look forward to something unless it's a very specific situation, like Scratch Mirror Michael on an indoor map, or the Hag on Midwich. Why, and I shouldn't have to stress about, well, I want to play Billy and I want to practice Billy. I hope I don't get Hawkins Laboratory. You know what I mean? Like, it's just insane to me, bro. I think a big part of this too with this community is money and cosmetics overall, and I want to break it down into 2 examples with you. The first one I'll talk about a little bit less because I don't know as much about it, is the Claudette cosmetic example in the Rift Pass. I guess the headpiece is unavailable because of, I don't know, maybe it's some sort of bug with it or something, and they said it's not going to come out until next year or something like that. How is it taking that long to fix a cosmetic headpiece that I am entitled to from purchasing the Rift Pass all the way until next year? How do you think that makes a Claudette main feel? Oh, I finally got a new cosmetic as Claudette. Yo, you know what? You can't use the headpiece and we won't be able to fix it till next year. Sorry, bud. I know you've given us hundreds of dollars already buying these other cosmetics, but sucks to suck, bro. I really don't understand. I'm not a coder or an engineer in any sorts, but I can't imagine it would take that long to get this issue fixed and to give you the cosmetic you graciously paid for. The next example I want to give you is probably going to hit more home. I want to use the Onryo as an example, right? Say you're a dedicated Onryo player. You only download Dead by Daylight to play as the Onryo, right? You go and you invest thousands of hours in the game. You make content. You promote the game to your friends. They download the game. They get cosmetics. You buy all the cosmetics for the Onryo. You play some Survivor too. You give behavior more of your money. We'll say about between $500 and $1,000, right? You're a bit of a big spender. You love this game. You love the Onryo. And this is the thing about the community they're creating. You have like this dedicated Onryo player, right? Who is just a veteran of the community, is spending money, keeping the game alive, keeping Onryo content alive, you know. And now here comes, we're gonna call him Timmy. Okay, I think Timmy is a funny name. Here comes little Timmy. Timmy just comes in and downloads Dead by Daylight. His first time playing, he is a Fortnite player or whatever, you know, Rocket League or whatever. And Timmy decides to complain because he's like, I don't understand what's going on in this game. The tutorials suck. The killers are mean and they tunnel me. I know about tunneling and slugging because I go on DBD Twitter, I go on DBD Reddit, I watch TikTok, and I've just heard from my friends that if you slug and tunnel, you're a piece of shit, right? So little Timmy's gonna go and complain to the developers about, you know, this guy that's maybe spent, you know, less than 100 hours in the game and, you know, we'll just say $20 just to throw out a random number. Who do y'all think the developers are going to listen to more? Little Timmy, this brand new player, and what he's invested in the game, or this dedicated Onryo main who is, you know, so into playing the Onryo and has given this game so much and has to struggle with the pallet density update, being a weak killer, being a bugged killer? I mean, on paper, you would think they would listen to the veteran who's spending more money, right? Well, here's the unfortunate reality of the situation. For every one dedicated Onryo player, there's probably 1,000 little Timmys downloading the game every day and trying it out. And unfortunately, when it comes down to numbers, the developers know, being the businessmen that they are, that if we appease this group over here of this 1,000 people that are going to buy cosmetics and they're going to stay in the game longer and increase numbers overall, whether it be analytics, cosmetics, funding, and, you know, more outreach that way, they're going to go and post the game on their social medias and spread the word way more than one person can who's a dedicated Onryo main. They're unfortunately going to appease to the masses. They're going to do things that nerf that specific character, like the Onryo with the pallet density update. They're not going to focus on giving you new cosmetics. They're going to say, oh, who do you guys like? Oh, y'all are what, 50% Sable players? Let's get some more Sable cosmetics. Oh, you don't like being tunneled? You don't like being slugged? Oh, please don't leave. Instead of doing your own research that we're not going to provide because we haven't made the tutorials, and instead of running anti-tunnel and anti-camping and anti-slugging perks, which I do all the time when I play Survivor, my Survivor build is shoulder the burden, we're going to live forever, reassurance, and we'll make it. That's it. I don't take any looping perks. I can still loop very efficiently. I go a team build because I don't want anybody else to have a bad experience and I want my teammates alive as long as possible. And I understand that tunneling in slugging is a strategy, but I want to prevent it because I'm a sweaty Survivor player too. But no, we're just going to bring down the entire game to raise up all these rookies on the thoughts of promise that maybe these guys will each spend $500 to $1,000 over the span of a year, which is going to shoot our profits through the roof, right? That's the unfortunate part of the business, man. I mean, it's like Fortnite, you know, they just appeal to the masses. I mean, does it make sense that certain skins are in Fortnite and all these new collabs? They just did the Simpsons or whatever. Like, I mean, probably not. There's probably a lot of OG players that hate that shit. But hey, it's money, man. We're going to bring in the money, right? That's the unfortunate part about it. So that, I'm pretty sure that Onryo main, the hypothetical one, probably feels like shit now that I've explained the situation to them about how their time is not as respected as the 1,000 little Timmys that are going to DC when they hear the clown terror radius, regardless of how the match goes, right? Don't even get me started on the DC epidemic right now. I'll make another video about that in the future. But with that, with the bugs, both on Killer and Survivor, there's a lot of Survivor bugs too, a lot of Survivor cosmetics. I main Rose Marigold, her dress messes up all the time and I have to see those freaking biker shorts. I mean, it's funny, but it's also sad. It's like, how can you not fix this character model to where this shit doesn't happen? There's also some weird bugs as well when survivors interact with other killers. I mean, the list is too long. If you're mainly a dedicated Survivor player, let me know the thoughts and experiences you've experienced. Actually, I could think of one right now, Deathslinger. There's still that bug where Deathslinger, you can't even see him aim his weapon. How shitty does that feel as a survivor when you're running away from Deathslinger and you're one way to try to dodge his shot? You can't even see that shit. It makes no sense, man. And I feel like if you're going on a multi-gen chase, you can't even be proud of it for yourself and your team because of that freaking game-breaking bug, dude. So it goes both ways, definitely, for killer and survivor. I feel the pain of both sides, man. I think both sides, especially the survivor veterans, the ones that have been playing here the longest, the ones that know how to loop, they know macro gameplay. I've heard dedicated survivor players both in and out of the comp scene say they don't even like the direction this game is going. It's not rewarding, it's not fulfilling. If I can go and drop 20 pallets on meat plant and run a 3-gen chase, I mean, unless you just really want to stroke your ego, what did I accomplish out of that? And I feel like overall that hurts content creators that are dedicated survivor mains, or like myself when I want to make survivor tutorials, because people don't even want to watch that shit anymore. People just want brain rot, because now when they go into the game as survivor, they can just turn their brain off and pre-drop so many pallets. Oh, well, now I don't have to worry about unhooking my teammate at a proper time because there's anti-camp, there's anti-tunnel. Oh, let's go use it aggressively, you know what I mean? And it just creates more of an us versus them gap instead of focusing on good survivor gameplay, which is proper looping, proper greeting of pallets, and doing your generators. All we do nowadays is just reward silly flashlight plays, pallet stuns, flashbangs, head on, you know, all that goofy stuff. But I just wish we would go back to a time where dedicated survivor, like people that know how to actually loop and know macro, was much more rewarded in general and fulfilling. And they're going to make that much harder to come across. I think overall, killer players are definitely getting the short end of the stick. They're not being listened to more than survivors. And I know the survivor duality is a little bit more complex as far as like unfulfilling gameplay. There still are situations where even though they say they want to get rid of slugging, camping, and tunneling, I had a Bubba the other day. I was on Midwich, me and a squad of 4, or, you know, 3 or whatever. I can't math right now. You know, we're all going against a face camping Bubba with Insidious. And, you know, that doesn't feel great either. There's nothing you can do about a face camping Bubba that wants to tunnel somebody out of the game for playing Sable, which he did. That's not very fun at all. We ended up making 2 people out because somebody went for a save when they shouldn't have. You really shouldn't save against a face camping Bubba. You should just accept the fact they're probably going to die and 3 people are going to make it out. But that's not fun for Survivor either, man. And killers, you know, now the developers haven't fixed that specific situation. This is my closing statement right here, last part. Good, engaging content. I want to be honest, critical, but also provide respective and trusted feedback to the community. As somebody that plays both killer and survivor, I understand each and every one of your struggles. I understand I've been through the worst of worst situations. I've gotten slugged out by a knight at 5 gens, all 4 of us on the ground, while the knights give us back shots. Playing killer, I've gone against a whole squad of Steves that just want to teabag and run scene partner and go for flashbangs all day. So I know what it's like. And I think both sides, prospectively, if we can unite together and both understand that on the survivor side and the killer side, neither of our times are being respected, that combined voice with effort and content creation about it and instructional videos like this, I don't think the devs are going to have a choice but to listen to us. I think the way this game is going to work overall, I really don't think it's ever going to die. There's nothing like it, unfortunately. There's no competition. Maybe there will be in the future, we'll see. But this game is in it for the long haul. But that doesn't mean that the culture and the style of the game isn't going to change for the worse either. The new players coming in and you create this us versus them mentality, and you create this hand holding with everything, and you don't encourage good gameplay and good tutorials and good in-game content that is not bugged, it's just going to lead to a disaster, man. And I think no matter what, if it keeps going down this path, every time you load up, you don't know if you're going to bug out of the game. You don't know what kind of survivor, what kind of killer you're going to get. I think it's just going to be a total S show, man, to be honest with y'all. But besides that, I would love to have you guys in my chat. I go live every day except Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I'll plug up the link tree. Join the Discord server. We are full of killer and survivor mains. There is no us versus them. We don't allow it. We're a very positive and engaging community. I know the holidays are coming up soon, so if you need some people to socially interact with, like myself, being the lonely adult I am, please come and join us. Please come and let us know your thoughts about the gameplay entirely. Whenever you stop by in the chat and say hello, give me your thoughts on the video. Drop a like and drop a comment and let me know specifically your gripes about it and what we're going through. I'm going to make more content like this for sure, and it's going to be very, you know, just very not only neutral as much as possible, but very engaging and very, you know, not just complaining, but also fixed actions and breaking down the game in a way visually that you guys can imagine it in your head and what the direction we're actually going is. But besides that, guys, I'll see y'all in the next video. Thank you so much for everything, guys. Please feel free to like and subscribe, of course. And I can't wait to see you guys in the live stream in the future to hang out with each and every one of us. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace out.